Hello and welcome back to another fabulous edition of Five Things Friday, UK edition. And privileged enough to be joined by my co-host, Simone Oloman. Simone, why don't we, for those who may have not tuned in last week, where were you? Give a quick 1 minute on, it could be longer because I remember watching you do your 1 minute and go, well, there's my 30-second pitch. And I was like, no. Take your time, as much time as you need. Take us through who you are and what you do.
I mean, don't say take my time or we really will be here all day.
All right.
Hello, everybody. I'm Simone, the co-founder and CEO of Need It For Tonight, also known as NIFT. I always say the easiest way to describe NIFT is literally like Deliveroo, but for quality fashion. So we work with lots of incredible brands and stores in London to facilitate 90-minute and same-day delivery through our platform. Whilst we are known for this, we do also have another product, which is also a B2B plugin, which plugs into retailers' checkouts, offering them 90-minute and same-day delivery. So,
oh wow,
lover of convenience, which may be on the...
You aggregate. So just to be clear, you aggregate network for delivery then. You take that problem away for retailers.
Exactly that, yeah. So
is it limited by region?
No, we have a career network in most major cities in the UK. Yeah, and we're currently expanding to most UK major cities as well.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. And it's beyond fashion. So, I mean, if I'm in I don't know, I make greeting cards or in that world, the product doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly that. It's really for, we work with smaller independents and, a lot of it is to try and help smaller independents. And it might be for a tool business or for a gift business. And it's to help them to provide that Amazon-esque experience to their customers with no extra ops or cost added to the retailer. So it's a complete mix. It can be big sporting businesses to fashion businesses to maybe an electronics business as well.
Okay, cool. So why don't you kick us off with the first thing this week?
Would love to. Something that's been on my mind, event season is in full swing and brands are really capitalizing on it. And I think the ones that are really winning, and they're certainly catching my eye. We've had Glastonbury recently where we had Free People and Sephora. They had a beautiful pop-up there. I mean, honestly, Free People was just dominating my Instagram with influencers, beautiful outfits. There was just so much buzz generated from it. And it gave me FOMO. It gave me FOMO for the outfits, even major FOMO for not being at Glastonbury as well, which I was We've also had Wimbledon this week where we've had Odd Muse and Flannels. They have done some kind of influencer event to launch a certain collection. Again, super smart, dominating my feed. There was also D. Louise, which is a lovely jewellery brand. He was the actual founder, was outside of Wimbledon. I think she just launched this beautiful tennis bracelet and she was actually handing out, obviously super fitting with Wimbledon, but she was actually handing out some free ones as well.
Oh, cool.
And then
if she retail when we were there.
Oh, was she? Oh, I didn't know that.
She was the one, I think about, she was one of the closing talks where she was going through her story. Her founder story.
Just really beautiful brand. She's really nailed it. But yeah, then we also saw, it was a few weeks back, we had Beyonce in London doing the tour. Again, something I wish I was at. There was all of this talk about Cowboy Carter. It was in every magazine. All different retailers were trying to push out what's Cowboy Carter related. Yeah. One brand took it that step further and it was never fully dressed. And to show off their collection, they brought this incredible looking squad of influencers to the concert. They were all dancing, singing.
Oh, wow.
The collection. And I was just like, that is smart. I was there looking online at what everybody was wearing. Again, it's meeting the customer where they are. And I think the brands that are doing this are realizing that it's not seasonal anymore. It's situational, and brands are really moving fast to tap into these different moments, and they're moving at culture's pace. It's not just reacting to it's them basically reacting to what's trending this week. You know, it's not just about spring, summer. It's about Glastonbury. It's what are people wearing at Sabrina Carpenter? It's outside group.
Raincoats, from what I saw.
Yeah.
Raincoats and umbrellas.
True. But just for me, it's so much more human and engaging. It's meeting the consumer where they are. It just does a really brilliant job at promoting products and creating FOMO. So that's
I think that's a beautiful point on the signals that retailers need to listen to, and the cultural signals, and how are they doing that effectively. And I think a lot of them are farming it out to agencies. They're not doing that themselves. And the data that exists in their business and their customer profiles, unless they're lucky to have, like you, a founder who knows her segment because she is from that segment, right? Obviously, the logistics part is a bit different, but unless you've got some sort of cultural-led signal mechanism, you're down to an agency telling you, "Hey, Glastonbury's coming up. Do you want to do something?" Wimbledon, but Wimbledon, I think, same with Formula One. All of these sort of classic, old world sporting events seem to be really rejuvenating themselves for a new generation. Which leads me to, I don't know which way to go now. There's something I want your opinion on, and then there's Adidas and what they're doing. Which one should we do next? Which one do you want to do next?
Oh, I'm intrigued what you want my opinion on. So let's
Okay, all right, let's go for that. And obviously my favorite platform, TikTok.
Right.
Is the messy cool girl finally back? We've spent years smoothing out every edge, from beige color palettes to skincare's personality. The ideal was polished and optimized, but lately, that aesthetic is starting to unravel, and it's not just a vibe. On platforms like Particle, the data tracks the mood shift in real time. Tobacco products are up 843%, rolling trays 569%, alcoholic beverages up nearly 1,000% in the past 12 months. This isn't just aesthetic fatigue, it's cultural realignment. Coaches climbing, Ghanaians trending upwards, the row softening. Suddenly, having a beer in cowboy boots feels more aspirational than green juice in Pilates. It's less about optimization, more about character, pleasure, and mood. Date to night dressing is trending, and imperfect beauty is back. People are drinking again, dancing again, wearing the dress, not checking the weather, ordering dessert, swapping routines for romance, saying more with less beige, from clean to captivating. If you're building a brand or marketing one, this isn't noise. It's a shift in culture and taste, and how people want to feel. The clean girl era, it's fading. What's next is messier, bolder, and honestly a lot more fun. After years of minimalism and quiet luxury.
There you go. The reason why I put that, I thought the younger generations, millennials, Gen Z, alphas, they can't drink anyway, but booze and fags are out because, we're doing Pilates, darling, and we're drinking our green juices.
Yeah.
But what she's saying is, sorry, that trend is now on a decline. And it's interesting, right? Listen to what your first sort of top of mind was Beyonce, Sabrina Carpenter, all of these festivals, and like that messy look rather than that. I don't know. What's your view?
It's hard because I still really think, particularly with Gen Zs, I still think we're in our clean girl era.
Yeah.
Okay. I really do. But you're right. I mean, I'm a millennial. I'm not Gen Z. I mean, me personally, I'm definitely a crossover of both. Love to have a wine, love a festival. But I do also maybe I like to pretend I'm in my green girl era.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fading, particularly with Gen Z. I still really think we're still in this health era. I do, and I can't see that going. I feel like I'm sounding contradictory from what I've just chatted about. You're right about how, but I think as well, a lot of people, a lot of events that I go to, and I go to a lot, maybe too many, a lot of people aren't drinking at these events.
Yeah. Look, the whole the sales on alco pops and non-alcoholic, whatever, spirits, wine, beer, you name it, is just through the roof. The sales every year and year time. But what I'm curious about, and maybe it's a trend that we'll watch about, are things turning? Because I remember Diageo, who owned most of the alcohol in the world, alcoholic brands in the world, they were saying how each generation rebels against the other generation. So if I was a beer drinker or a spirits drinker, my son or daughter will be a wine drinker because they don't want to be like their parents.
Right.
But what this is interesting is it's like a mid-generational shift from healthy aesthetic to non-healthy. We'll see. Anyway, I don't want to labor too much, and I just wanted your view on it.
It's an interesting one to watch, and appreciate I have not given a straight answer to that. But
That's okay. The answer is I don't know, because I fit in both of them right now, and I don't know if one aesthetic is going to win over the other.
if I was going to guess, I think it'd still be the healthy girl era, the clean era.
You hope.
For my own sake.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. That's what I read into it. Like, I hope it's going to stay like that, because debauchery and, off the rails is on the other side, and that looks quite messy. But anyway, okay, let's go. Point number 3, thing number 3, over to you.
Okay, so I have to admit, this is one of my favorite topics, and it is the topic of convenience and rapid delivery, because who wants to wait 5 days for a delivery? Not me. I think those days are over. Of course, I am biased with Nift, but this is a topic that I love. So this week we've seen Amazon and GoPuff joining forces to launch 15-minute grocery delivery across cities.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, wild. Yeah. And I think, again, it's showing the real shift in things like, same-day delivery isn't the new perk, but instead it's becoming a baseline. And Amazon really set that bar, even from their prime, from their next-day delivery before. I think everybody now not only wants, but expects that kind of Amazon-esque experience. And, this for me, it's not just about groceries. It really is about customer psychology. I think people are done waiting, and Amazon are always one step ahead when it comes to things like this. But yeah, I think it's interesting, and something that I'm talking about too much is that we're seeing a demand for instant gratification across all verticals. It's now not just groceries, it's fashion, it's gifts, it's beauty, technology.
Yeah.
Entertainment, for example. Even when you watch something in the cinemas, you can watch it instantly on your TV. And, this is the behavioral shift that retail is finally catching up with as well. I think retailers now trying not to think more about logistics, and I think they're being forced to now think about lifestyle, particularly in cities. Delivery should really match how people are living. And, often when you're living in a city, you're time poor and you're always in motion.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my topic of this week, which I found very interesting.
I love the way that you frame that as in terms of its lifestyle, not logistics, because I think that's what people have doubled down on, is sorting logistics out, or trying to, and then forgetting that it's part of lifestyle, right? Exactly. And it's a trend that when you look at the numbers across the world, it's only continued to grow. It's not shrinking, it's getting bigger. And I can't remember who bought Deliveroo, but they were just bought outright by somebody.
DoorDash.
Is it DoorDash that bought them? Yeah. And then in Spain, we've got Glovo that seem to be going from strength to strength. So there was a lot of consolidation. Some retreated from certain markets, but there's definitely an appetite from a consumer perspective, because we're all dopamine fiends. We all need that sort of dopamine hit. And I mean, I don't mind saying I bought something off AliExpress. Jesus Christ, 2 weeks, I think about 3 weeks worth of waiting. And I was like, okay, how much do I really need of 8 gigabit something? But anyway, moving on swiftly. So going back to your first thing about brands, and this is cheating a little bit, because on my 5 Things Friday USA edition, I looked at it from a USA perspective, but this brand is crushing it in the UK as well. Adidas versus Nike. Now, Nike's been suffering their cultural relevance. They're just not engaged with the new era of shopper. They've missed the mark on so many points.
Yeah.
And the new CEO has said, we're going to double down. We're going to become more of an athletic, go back to our heritage, promote sports stars, promote, sporting in general. And they tried to beat the 4-minute mile last month, the first female runner to run underneath 4 minutes. And she did it at 4 minutes and 2 seconds or something. So she got really close. Yeah. On the flip side, you've got Adidas working with Missy Elliott and Samuel L. Jackson on this iconic sort of, it started off as a basketball trainer, or sneaker, and now it's sort of across all, skaters use it. It's streetwear. And they've got these, and I mean, it's got it here, but I don't know. I know Missy Elliott, but they've sort of created this clean, aesthetic looking video to launch the Superstar brand with these 7 influencers that are cross generational, cross category as well. And so obviously this is when I was doing my US edition, I was like, look at what, how different is this from Nike, right? How are they being relevant to modern generation? But then when you come to the UK and, this has been, you were talking about your feed. Obviously, I've got a lot of old men in my feed. Everyone was mad for Oasis at Cardiff. And, I love watching the Liam Gallagher sort of looky-likeys or, the whole persona that goes with this. And these are the pop-up stores, one in Manchester, one in London.
Yeah.
But who's at the heart of this? What brand? Adidas. A 30-year-old rock and roll band are making their comeback. They're all over social media in the UK.
Yeah.
And Adidas is at the heart of it. So for me, what a fantastic example of cultural heritage and relevance in today's market to older generation, Gen Xers probably, and this new generation. And I think, this is a masterclass in brands staying relevant across category and generations.
Yeah. No, so such nostalgia as well. Even people like Missy Elliott, just having her involved, obviously Oasis, it just creates such nostalgia.
Yeah.
Very, very, very smart.
Yeah, I think so. And so well done, Adidas or Adidas. What would you say, Adidas or Adidas?
I actually say Adidas. So I was thinking when you said Adidas, so I was like, oh, I say Adidas.
Yeah, I say Adidas, but I don't know if it's Adidas. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. That could be an online controversy. The final one is if you are at a loose end at the weekend, get yourself down to the flagship New Balance store.
Lovely.
They do everything from shoe fitting to my favorite part, which is not these ones, the ones in blue, but basically these New Balance that have been made in the UK. And I wish I could, for the life of me, remember where. It's a small cultural village, rural village somewhere in the UK that makes these New Balance made in England handmade shoes. So they're a little bit more pricier, but they're handmade. And the only other place that you can get them is made in the US. So there's like these 2 iconic made in those countries to complement everything else. But, it's on 4 levels. It's really beautiful aesthetic, really modern, really engaging. And I think it's worth a visit for, depending on what your fancy is. I think it's a really sort of lovely retail experience.
Yeah.
And that's it. So how are we doing for time? We're almost kept to schedule. So Simone, thank you so much. Anything planned for the week or weekend ahead?
Relaxing.
You're not off at any concerts anywhere?
I'm not, sadly, although now I'm feeling like I want to be. After all,
You need a drink.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the Sabrina Carpenter. I mean, I can imagine
people still look like they had a very good time. Yeah.
Although I don't like man-child. I think that's again a topic for another day. All right, with that bombshell, thank you so much. Look forward to next week.
Amazing. Bye, Alex.